How's it going, everybody? I'm back at the new yard. Technically, today's the first day of work for me here with this new company. I'm gonna be pulling a refrigerated trailer known as a Reefer. This guy right here. And I guess I'm gonna give you guys a quick little tour, little lesson, I guess, if you guys don't mind. So let's begin. So for this, it's pretty easy. It's not as hard as you think. Just gonna put my gloves back here real quick. I already started the truck. But anyways, this is the Reefer trailer, known as refrigerated. And it's different because behind the side skirt you got the fuel tank. You have to fill this up all the way. If not, you're asking for trouble. It's heavier. But also you got to worry about this guy. This is the head of the Reefer unit. And this is where you control your temperature. When you pick up a load, this trailer, depending on what load you're picking up, has to be pre-cooled. And then the shipper will give you the temperature that the receiver wants. So you turn this guy on, set the temperature, and you should be good. So these are your airlines, service, emergency, trailer lights. But yeah, you switch this guy on, turn this guy on. Some Reefer trailers are different. This head unit is a Carrier brand. You got a Carrier, and then you got a Thermo King for the head unit. And then from here, you get to adjust the temperature you want, set the temperature, and then it'll pre-cool it or preheat it depending on what temperature they want. So yes, there's an engine that sends AC inside of the trailer. And then some units have a light that tell you green light, which is good, or amber light, there's a problem, or red light, the engine is probably stopped. And some have a temperature reading. They can look at your rearview mirror. That way you can keep an eye on the temperature without you having to stop and check every time. This one doesn't have it, but that's okay. And of course the walls are thicker, as you'll see in just a moment. So let's walk back here. I love this trailer because I love this style of trailer because it's an auto inflator. It keeps the tires inflated at 100 psi at all times because of these auto tire inflators. So that makes it good. I'm a little sweaty, but you'll see what I mean. So if we take a peek under here, you'll see a tank. The tank is going to be on the right there on the driver's side. I can't really show it, but that's the tank. I'll get a different angle in a moment. That's where you put diesel, so the Reefer unit can fuel, and of course you can transport your stuff. Underneath the trailer, you got sorry for the lighting, sun's in the eyes. Most of these Reefer trailer units are air suspension ride, which means there's the air tank, and you got your 4 airbags, and then you got your shocks. This style trailer does not have drum brakes. It has disc rotors, all 4 of them. Just a little heads up. It helps with cooling. The breaks down quicker, so it's nice to know. All right, we're gonna go underneath so I can show you. There's the Reefer diesel tank. Maybe this one's 50 gallons, something like that. I believe they go up to 60. I could be wrong, but that's what these are, mostly on your driver's side. So that's what the inside looks. And then of course you got a spare tire. This is underneath the truck. Make sure it's hooked. Let's get out of here and show you the inside. But yeah, you take this guy off, the cap, and it should tell you how many gallons it can hold. And then of course, as you're fueling, this is your fuel level gauge. Normally you want it to be here full, but some units only allow you to get this 3/4. So, but yeah, that's what a reefer unit looks like. Now let's show you the inside as we walk to the back. Oh yeah, you get an idea how thick these doors are, because you got the insulation material and all that stuff, and these have to be very well sealed to trap the coolness or the heat or whatever temperature for the product while you're hauling it. But also that's why you got to keep an eye on your fuel level. That way you don't worry about running out of diesel. So it's important to have this squared away. So yeah, that's the thickness of these reefer trailer doors. Then of course you got the hook. The hook is right there. Focus. The hook is right there in that hole. So yep, this is the thickness of a reefer trailer door. Drive ends are thinner. They're a lot thinner. See, here's another example of the thickness. Again, these are heavier. These reefer trailers are heavier. And then of course you hook them right there. There's a hook. I'll see if I can show you that. Some of these have a little door like this one does, and some don't. This little door is for you to stick a thermometer and check, but I'm not gonna mess with this guy's reefer unit because it doesn't belong to me, and I want to be respectful of the property. So this is the inside of the reefer, known as the refrigerated trailer, reefer trailer unit, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, these walls are thick, a lot thicker than the dry van trailers. Let me get inside and I'll give you guys a tour. All right, so towards the back of the trailer, which is this right here, you have drain holes. The purpose that I can think of is these trailers have to get washed from the inside because you're carrying different stuff. And of course the water needs somewhere to go. And if I'm not mistaken, also pressure has to be released. If I'm not mistaken, I think it has to do something with pressure, but I know that's where the water, it's a drain basically, because depending where you're carrying, these have to be washed out, rinsed out, washed out, same thing. Right, so, and then of course, most of these units have a line. This is a limit line. Reefer, basically, it's basically saying shippers do not overload beyond this top line and this back line. That way, proper flow of insulation and weight distribution, but most likely is also for this. I'll go this in just a moment. But you can tell these walls are really thick, and the floor is metal. And see these grooves? Is grooved for a moment. I'll do my best to explain it. This is your other type of load securement. These are called load locks. Load locks. I'll see if I can teach you, but it's pretty self-explanatory. So, what you do is you want to make sure these ends are not beat up or too worn down or bent for proper load securement. So what you do is you take one of these guys, right? There's a notch right here. Let me see if I can show you. Hold on. I guess I'll do it like this. There's a notch here. There's a notch here. You move this notch and then lift this guy up. Okay? Lift and pull. Some are different. These teeth grab onto this teeth to basically tell you how much of the length you really have to move, but you also have to make sure that this is all the way down. That way you can move it to the length of the load securement, or you can put this top to bottom or side to side. And again, this is just extra load securement to make sure your load is not moving around. You don't want your load to move around because that's going to spell trouble. Then you have ratchet straps. I don't have one, otherwise I would show you. But yeah, this is the inside, 53 feet long. So I'm familiar with this stuff. Also forgot to tell you, there's another drain hole here at the front of the trailer. Another one right there. This is the front end of the trailer. This is where that reefer head unit's at. This is where it's resting at. This is the brand Carrier Transit Cold. Again, you got Carrier and then you got Thermo King. That's all I can think of. Okay? And there's that line, and here's the same sign. Refrigerator shippers loading above this line will prevent airflow, which is this. This, I want to call it a bag, but I know it's not a bag, but this is where the cold temperature, or basically where the airflow of the temperature, if it's hot or cold, comes from. You set the temperature out here, like let's say negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it's set to negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit, it's going to blow really cold air at negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to blow it first at the top, not at the bottom. It's going to flow up here. Let's call it a chute. It's going to flow cold, negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit, or whatever temperature you set, down this chute, which is why you don't want to load it above this line. If not, you're going to be obstructing airflow, because this is supposed to hang. All this air chute, right? All that air will come here through these chute vents, and when the doors are closed, it's going to bounce off the doors. We're going to assume the doors are closed. Bounce the doors, all that cold air. It's going to bounce, and it's going to flow on the floor, which is why this floor is metal and it's grooved, or it's basically has this design. So the airflow basically comes from there and bounces off the trailer door and just slides through these little grooves. So that's how this reefer works, and this is why it has to be made out of this material. It's like plasticky type of hard material, and this is why the floor has to be made out of metal and have these groove designs. A dry van, the walls are going to be thin and metal type, right? It's metal. And then of course the flooring on a dry van trailer is just wood. It's lighter. This is heavier, which is why you don't want to load above this line. Otherwise you're going to be obstructing airflow from the chute. So all that cold air that you set up at the front of the reefer unit, it doesn't matter if it's cold or hot or warm, comes up the chute, down this chute, which is why it's designed like this. It's going to flow down, bounce on these reefer trailer doors. We're assuming the doors are closed. We're pretending they're closed. Bounces back down to these grooves on the reefer floor. Watch your step, because if you're not wearing the proper shoe material, or if it's wet, or if it's too icy, you will slip and eat crap. But that air comes in, bounces off the reefer trailer doors, and all that cold air comes down through these grooves, all the grooves. And then of course all that air gets transported to the bottom, and it just cycles around. And then of course that extra air will bounce side to side on the sides of the reefer unit. So this is where it gets sent, bounces, expands, travels through these grooves along the sides too. It goes back to the front, making sure that the whole load is temperature controlled, because this is a temperature controlled unit. And then it gets recirculated sometimes, but yeah, it just gets recirculated in a cycle, maintaining the temperature. So that's how the reefer unit works. That's how this trailer works. Very impressive. So that's how it works. So I'm gonna climb down. It's getting hot in here. I'm just doing a walk around and everything looks good. Nothing's broken. Remember, this is an air ride system, which is why it's a little bouncy. Even says air ride right there. I'm gonna climb down. It's hot. But yeah, that's the beauty of this amazing trailer. The beauty of reefer. Let's close the doors. So what you want to do, have to do this one-handed. You push in, and hopefully you can see that better. You push in, there's a hook, and then just try to take this off. Take it off as best as possible. Boom. That's the hook. And And then there goes the door. Be careful if it's windy. You don't want to get smacked because this will hurt. Okay, this handle turns all of this. So you turn it to the side, you push it, then you see that hook up there, and at the bottom, you just turn it. You want to make sure that this point and that top part grabs, and then you push it with your palm. Don't do this, because if it slides, you're going to punch it and you're going to hit your hand. Open palm, all the way up, slide down, pull it down hard. Make sure that that notch up there is secured, this notch is secured, and then just turn this down. Same thing with the other side. But yeah, it bounces off through these doors right here on all that stuff. Same thing. You can use your hand or your shoulder. I'm gonna use my shoulder. Find the hook, pull it out. That's the hook. Basically, it's hooking on like this. That's the hook. You can feel it underneath too. All right, now that we took it off, lift this guy up, slide up, turn towards you, down. Make sure this whole piece moves freely, because if not, sometimes they break and it's a problem. You're gonna walk this through, and if it's windy and this, let's say if it's windy, it slides and it's moving around, get out the way before it smacks you, because it will knock out. It'll knock you out and it'll hurt. Thankfully, it never happened to me, because I think. All right, these notches are aligned, trailer's aligned. Going slowly. Forgive me if I sent the same part again. I was having issues with my Snapchat, but yeah, basically, let's try this again. Oh yeah, make sure that these hinges are not broken, because if they're broken, they're not gonna be aligned, and it's gonna be a problem. Door won't close. So yeah, once again, make sure these notches are in. Turn it to where that notch is grabbing. Okay, we're good. You can put penetrating oil, maybe a little bit of grease on these moving parts, and then at the same time you're pushing again with your hand. Once this notch is in, that guy's in, hard. Push it down hard. I know sometimes it can be challenging. And then you can put your lock or whatever you need to right here, or they'll put a seal. If that's not closed properly, you have to open the door again, push it, make sure that notch is hold it up again. So that's how this reefer trailer works. Let's check the other side. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics of the reefer trailer. Tires are good. I already checked it. I'm just doing a secondary walk around. So well, that's not too bad. But then of course you got these pins. One pin, another pin right there. You can slide your tandem axles. That's what these trailer axles are called. They're called tandems. You can slide them all the way to the back, all the way to the front. For that, when you're inside the truck, you pull the red trailer knob out with the yellow truck brake or tractor brake. You come out here, you pull that little button, you pull it out, and it bleeds air. And then those pins, see that pin right there? See that tandem pin right there? Should go in. If not, if they don't go in, get inside, rock the trailer front and back, and then those pins should go in. And be gentle with the gas, with the throttle. Slide them forward, meaning if you're gonna slide your axles back, basically these will stay stationary, and you're gonna move the trailer front, which brings these trailer axles all the way to the back. Why would you move into the back? Because other states you can, because of the Burns law, which I don't want to get into, or most likely the shipper and receiver will tell you to slide them to the back. That way the trailer doesn't move around as much. That way when the forklift driver comes in, there's support here, because of the trailer tandems are holding the back of the trailer. That was not like teeter-tottering. Doesn't teeter-totter as much, but it's better to play it safe. As I was saying, most of the time, the reason why you want to move those axles back, shippers and receivers will tell you. That way it's a balance. And then to slide them forward, same thing. You pull the tractor brake, which is the yellow knob, and the trailer brake out to cut air supply to the trailer. So you're basically setting your brakes. Come back out. You pull this guy out again, pull it out, and since the trailer brake is set in, it's supplying air to the trailer. I cannot pull this out. The trailer brake has to be out and set. But yeah, you pull this out, air comes out. These tandem pins should go in, and if they don't go in, rock the trailer back and forth. But yeah, if you're at the dock and your tandems are all the way to the back, just pull forward a little bit, set your brakes, both tractor and trailer brake, pull this button out, this notch out, that way you can release the pins, the trailer tandem pinholes, right? Once they go in, rock the truck back and forth. And these axles, even though they're in the back, you're going to slide them forward, which means you get to back your truck and trailer back. No, you get to move it forward. Hang on. If you move it forward, you're setting the axles to the back. Oh yeah, you back up the trailer to set them back to the 40-foot mark, basically sliding them forward. There you go. To set the trailer axle back, the tandem's back, you move the truck and trailer forward. To set the axles front, you move the truck and trailer back. And then, of course, once you have them set forward or to the whatever spec you want, you come back here, you push this button back in, makes a noise, supplying air, and these pins will come out. Now, there's times where the pins will not come out or you can't see them. Don't worry. You just have to move the truck and trailer, to where these pins will come out through the holes, locking them in place. And then, of course, you come out, check. Once they're good, supply the trailer with air, and then you can drive it around, go where you need to go. So pretty easy. All right, I got to finish up because I got to load my stuff and get going, but we're just doing this, quick walk around. You want to make sure all your lights are working. One light, if there's one light out, get it replaced, or else the cops will make a big deal out of it. Mostly state police, believe it or not. That's how the unit works. That's how that guy works. The refrigerated unit, known as the Reefer. Everything's good here. But yeah, there's an engine. This is basically the engine. It has batteries and all that stuff. And then this is a drain for the, the AC has to drain water to prevent moisture. That's what that is. And then these guys, that's where you put your placards, like hazardous materials or whatever. So they have to have that. We don't carry placards because I don't have a hazmat. So I don't have to worry about it too much. Most of the time it's food products, food, ice cream, chicken. Yeah, see, for your placards. And then also at some units, you have a button like this one, or you have like a little lever or a pull out thing, but it's rare for these style trailers, but you get the idea. So all the lights work. Okay, fuel is good. All right guys, that's the end of my lesson for now. I'll go over more about this when I have a chance. Right now I gotta pack my stuff and get going. Hopefully to learn a thing or two. I'm taking these clips, saving them, and I'll try to make a video about it, post it on my Facebook, actually on my YouTube channel. Hang on, let me show you real quick. This is not trying to promote anything. This is a Thermo King. I got a Carrier. This is a Thermo King Reefer unit. And this is, I want to say a Carrier, but this is basically what the inside of a Reefer looks like on the engine side. It's basically an engine with AC compressor, the AC, the engine, the starter, the fan to cool it, and all the belt and alternator, and the battery should be somewhere in the back. tops or in the top, depending how it is. But this is basically how these head units of a Reefer look like. And then of course you got the control see it's a carrier. You got the control panel and this and that. You open the panel, the door panel up and service it. So yeah, that's basically an example of one how it looks. Well, obviously, but yeah, I mean, obviously it's not gonna look like this, all rusted and old. No, it's just I'm assuming it's been left out like this because they're probably parting it out or whatever. But obviously it's not gonna look like this. It's gonna look a lot nicer is the point. Basically what I'm trying to show you is how it looks like to give an idea, but obviously it's not going to look like this all old and rusted. No, this is just an idea of like, oh gee, this is what it looks like. But anyways, I'm going to get going. I'm going to pack my stuff and I'm going to pick up my first load tomorrow. Right now what I want to do is I want to get close to the place. That way now I don't have to worry about driving far to my pickup when I can just be closer. That way I can save time, hours, and not have to worry about the drive too much. So wish me luck and we'll see how this goes. I'll keep you guys posted, so we'll go from there.